Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Preston Chambers, and I'm about to show you the best path to scale your coaching to five, six, or even seven figures as a coach or creator. And what you're looking at right now is a complete whiteboard. It's been us about a week to build, and we've actually been building this process the week just to build it, but making it over the past couple of years, working with tons of different creators and coaches and info products. And it really covers everything you need to know to start or scale your own coaching business. And it's the exact strategies that we've used to do multi six and soon to be seven figures in info sales. And I'm going to give you the entire playbook today. And if you are a creator or coach who wants help implementing any of this at all, you can book a free one-on-one call with me. First link in the description. I'm going to be looking up here. This is where my monitor is. And the first step in all of this is market research. And it's the most important thing. This is what we were helping Money Maxim doing. He has a school in a high ticket. And you really need to understand your ICP of who you're actually selling to and what they want. Otherwise, you're cooked. That's why this is the first step, right? So there's two ways to go about it, right? You can just talk to your audience and figure out what they want, or you can guess. Like this guy, he thinks that the person wants a basketball. Really, they just want a cake, right? Hope you like the drawings, by the way. But you really just need to talk to your audience. And there's different ways to do this. So I'm going to be breaking those down. But the first one is a cohort. This is where you basically take a small group of people, 5 to 10, you open up spots for one-on-one coaching. And it's kind of general and basic. You're really just getting the hottest leads. This is what we did with Ryan. We made 44,000 in 2 weeks. We were just trying to get like around 10 people in. And we were getting really good market research from it because they're paying him for mentorship. And the reason why this is so good, it's the best market research because you can deeply understand who you're serving. You're literally doing market research on people who paid you multiple thousands of dollars. But the cons are it's very frictionful. Not everyone has the luxury to do this, and it does not maximize your cash flow. But nonetheless, if you're going from a pure market research standpoint, it's the best. Although I don't really feel like it's the best all the time because, we're trying to maximize that cash flow, right? So here's another way, which is a type form. I typically like to do these in like free Discord communities. You essentially grab their name, email, and number, and you want to ask them questions, about their current situation, their desired, what's really holding them back. And you want to get at least 100 to 250 responses. So you're going to need at least probably like 1,000 people-ish to click it, just kind of depending on your conversion rates, completion rates, whatever. And the pros of this are is that you get lots of feedback from different sources, right? You get all types of different people responding, and it doubles as a wait list because you can sell to these people because we grab their name, number, and email. So we can dial them, we can email them. But the cons are it's not as in-depth as possible, and you need a good amount of traffic. Although I really do like these ones. These are solid. Next, you can do is an Instagram version, which is Instagram stories. You basically post various stories, which we're going to get into story sequences in the next section. Basically just asking general questions. So for example, if you're trying to target agency owners, you ask your audience, do you own an agency? Once I own one or started one, but it didn't work out. And then you can just slide up and DM the people who interacted with the stories, potentially even hopping on calls, which is the next one. But you just DM them something like, yo, basically is it cool if I ask you some questions? I'm just trying to better understand you guys. And the pros are it's very easy to do. You get to talk to people further down the funnel, and you don't need tons of traffic, right? The cons, not as in-depth as possible, but if you use this method, it can be. And the second best method, a really good method, is calls. This is pretty much where you do market research through calls. So sales calls are really good. You can use specific market research calls, or you can even upload, group calls from low ticket or free communities. You just record them. And the pros is that it's very in-depth because you can ask questions, you're getting live feedback, but it takes time, it takes time to hop on these calls, and you usually need to do some stuff prior. So, and then also if you have like a YouTube or a TikTok, depending on the amount of traffic you have, you can do free calls to your audience, which who wouldn't want a free call with you, right? Or if you have tons and tons of traffic, you can just do the type form method, right? And then here are some bonuses for market research. This is something that not a lot of people talk about online. And the first one is AI. So after you actually get all this data, you just want to upload it to AI, kind of ask it to give you a marketing avatar, covering just these general things, current situation, desired situation, pain points, gap, bridge, whatever the case may be. And then competitors. You want to go to the top 5 to 10 people in your niche and pretty much funnel hack them, create some swipe files, and really understand what they're actually doing. And the whole goal of this is really just to know the ICP better than they know themselves, right? Super simple, super basic. Let's go into the next part, the fun part, which is traffic, which is 1Tier Crypto, right? He hit 20K total last month or so. And yeah, so essentially you want to optimize these eyeballs for cash because before, I thought he was getting 83K views with only 2K USD, but it's actually 20K. It's an okay number. We're going to be getting those up using the various methods I'll be showing you guys soon. But anyways, this is the most important step along with market research. And I'm going to be covering 3 main platforms today. You can do it on X, you can do it on LinkedIn, whatever. I'm just going to be covering the main 3 because this is just kind of generalized. If you want like a personal breakdown of your specific situation, you can book that call with me, first link in the description. But essentially with TikTok, it's so good for eyeballs. It is so easy to blow up on TikTok and go viral, but it's low quality views. So really what you want to do with yours is funnel your TikTok traffic to like YouTube and ideally even a YouTube VSL. And basically you have a link in bio, you have a deep link, which basically makes it so that way whenever they click the link, it actually just opens the YouTube app. So they're not like on that browser where it's all weird. And you can send them to a YouTube video, either a student case study or I prefer a YouTube VSL. And then with Instagram, all you want them to do is just to follow you because whenever they follow you with the various features, it's basically like an email list, basically traffic that you own because they opted in. And there's many, many different ways to actually use Instagram. So the sequence strategy. Okay, guys, I'm saucing you guys up. So the Instagram story is essentially like owning an email list. And these people already won. They already opted in by following you. So it's literally just like an email list. And you want to follow this specific framework when you're doing Instagram stories specifically, okay? So it follows this framework of hook, story, with proof, and offer. And the pros are it's going to make you loads of money, but it will cause audience burnout if you constantly just spam these. So you only want to do it about once per week. So here's an example of a story sequence I found. It's decent, it's solid, and I kind of added some adjustments. But essentially you want to start out with the hook, right? Big announcement. And he kind of did that here with a hook. And yeah, but anyways, you kind of just want to hook them in because if you randomly just drop something like this, people are going to be confused, but you want to have some background on it. So you have a kind of a hook. And right here, he's throwing some rocks at his enemies and showing some social proof, right? And then shows more social proof, which is like the story, right? I'm doing this day in, day out, showing full transparency, and I offer a full refund if you don't profit after 30 days. Who else? So he's telling the story, weaving in proof, and then he has his offer, right? Basically, if another profitable day, we went 3 for 5 in sports betting, DM me picks, and then he shows social proof, right? $2,000 profit. Before he was here, now he's here, and then another profit. The only thing I really would have added on this sequence is just a CTA right here, like another CTA, and maybe another CTA, right? But nonetheless, it's a solid story. You just want to follow that framework of hook, story, offer. And if you really want to go super in depth into it, you can use the close friends method, which is essentially where you get a bot or get a software to add everyone to your close friends and it will 3 extra story views because it's that green story and it pops up first on your stories. So now you're probably wondering, okay, well, if this is going to cause audience burnout, I can only do this once per week. What should I do on the other 6 days? And it's going to be a combination of these 3 main things. The first one is funneling. So you can essentially funnel all of your IG leads to, YouTube and whatnot, kind of like how we did it with TikTok, just to get them to further know, like, and trust you. And the pros of this is, like I said, it gets people to know, like, and trust you further down the funnel, but it doesn't really increase your story views and it doesn't directly make you money. So we want to use these other 2 levers, which are going to be very, very helpful to you. So the next one is Q&As. And this is what he's using where he does a Q&A. But the cool thing about it is that on 1 or 2 of the questions, you can do like a subtle CTA where you have someone from your team or even you yourself, alt account, whatever the case may be, to ask questions about your program so you can plug them. Like he did right here. He's talking about his program of students. Whenever you join the Artisan Lab, that's his like program, you might even be able to get, clients for you or whatever. We'll give you clients. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. People love it because, you're interacting with them. It increases story views. It does not make you the most amount of money, but you can subtly CTA. You don't want to CTA too much with these subtle story sequences though. Only a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be like a story sequence. People, they'll be giving you the thumbs down. Okay, then the final one is lifestyle. These are the best for story views. People love it. Increases story views. You want to spam these. Huge for engagement. It's essentially just engagement farming. It doesn't directly make you money, but it does increase your story views. Posting you like in a cool car, posting yourself in a cool place, whatever the case may be, just spamming these tons and tons of times, right? These are really, really good. But okay, cool. So next on the list in Instagram is the link in bio. It's the bio. So essentially, you can have something similar to this. Basically, you want to have a CTA. You want to have something random about you that kind of personalizes you. He doesn't really do that here. He's more selling. selling super hard, which I don't really recommend. And then the bio can be like something that you're known for, or like, you're Christian, or, just something personal. Then you can talk about, kind of what you do, and then you have your CTA, which is CTAs right here. They're a good way to drive traffic, just like YouTube descriptions, and you can funnel them to your funnel, DMs, or even to YouTube, right? This could be a CTA to DM, whatever the case may be. And then also outbound. So they don't even have to follow you. They can just interact, but you can do cold DMs on Instagram, and you're really going to be doing warm outbound. And they're a fantastic way to generate traffic, because when people follow you, when they like your posts, when they slide up on your stories, you can talk to them and send them down your funnels, whether that's a YouTube channel, YouTube video, or even down your DM funnel, which we'll be covering in stage 5. Cool. So next on the list, my personal favorite is YouTube. And it's the best for nurturing traffic because, it's long form. I'm going to give you some key pointers right here. YouTube is a quality game, right? Hence why I made this whole Miro. It's a quality game, quality over everything. And you just need to provide value and get people to want to watch you. You don't really need the hyper edited stuff anymore. Look at this. Very, very simple, right? There's a picture, there's a title, 1.4 million, 500K, 400K. Like, there's no need for the hyper edited. And I recommend the 3-2-2 content style. It's essentially where you use different variations of tofu, mofu, and bofu, right? Let's add these second things for the F's here. But essentially, right, it's tofu, top of funnel. So this is content optimized for eyeballs. I just went ahead and broke down Cardinal Mason here. So look at this. Life-changing advice from a $20 million a year entrepreneur on a private jet. Actual day in life of a Miami millionaire. So as you can see here, these are top of funnel content, right? These aren't really like niche specific. These are just more optimized for eyeballs. Very like lifestyle-y type of videos. Then next up is middle of funnel. So this is niche specific questions for whatever you're selling. So like for this specific thing, or just questions that your audience has in general. So like a lot of people are probably fumbling sales calls. So he made a video, watch this to never fumble a sales call again. And that's kind of what he created here. And just so you know, views are not everything. All that matters is the quality of views, because these 7, and I'll be breaking down this bottom of funnel and then I'll go into the views. But bottom of funnel is essentially your cash grab. These can be, free courses. These can be, case study interviews, case study breakdowns, whatever, and they cook because it's just live social proof that your thing actually works. And even though he only got 7,000 views here, these views are going to be way more quality because they're seeing social proof. They're seeing it actually works. Views do not matter at all. It's just the quality views. One view could net you $10,000 if you're selling to that one person a $10,000 product. Next up is also YouTube descriptions. These are just main traffic drivers here. People always check it out, and he's just pushing people to his funnel, which is what you want to do, either pushing them to your funnel or pushing them to another YouTube video, YouTube VSL. But the whole goal of this is just to optimize the content for money, and you do that by having a good quality of views is key, right? Not quantity. Quantity helps, right? We want quantity, but it's all about the quality, because you could get 1 million views, but it could all be little kids or, people from Africa or just some third world country where they can't buy, right? They can't. And you can't do anything about that. They can't do anything about that. Number 3 is offers. I hope you guys are enjoying these like drawings I have, but basically your audience is like a goldfish, and a lot of people try to offer them like a shark when really they just want a fishbowl, and that's what you should be offering them. This was Von Two Cut's problem, where he didn't have a good offer. I'm going to kind of break down why, but yeah, it kind of stopped him from scaling. That's what we implemented when we came into his business. But essentially, you want to have product market fit. So if we look at Cardinal Mason's content right here, looks like it's about copywriting, right? Something about writing, and it wouldn't really make sense for him to sell people on dropshipping or to sell people on content creation. I'm not saying he couldn't make money on it. He could. But if he wants to make the most amount of money, have the best conversion rates, he needs to make his content around copywriting in some way, shape, or form, and then sell that, right? And that's what you need to do. Von Two Cut was making self-improvement content, but he was trying to sell a content creation offer. It didn't really make sense. He was still making money, but it wasn't as much as he could have been making. So that's what you need to do. First step is product market fit. Basically, the content you make is what people are going to want from you. Then is following Alex Hormozi's value equation to actually make your offer. It's 4 things. So you want to have its dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice equals the value. So the dream outcome, it's basically the ultimate transformation that, the customer is going to get whenever they join. How amazing is the end result for them? So you just want to focus on what they're going to get. Example, right? You're going to make 10K a month versus make more money. You kind of want to be specific. So like for Vontu Cuts offer, it was just, improve in every single area of your life, your health, your wealth, your knowledge, and your love. Then the perceived likelihood of achievement, you also want this to be high. It's basically how much the customer believes that they will actually get that dream outcome. And how you can increase this is just by case studies, testimonials, social proof, and risk reversals. So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. If it doesn't happen, you get this. We'll work with you for free. You'll get your money back. But here's all these other testimonials that have also done it as well. Then is time delay. So it's how long it's actually going to take for them to get there. So it's like lose 10 pounds in 30 days, lose weight, etc. And these two are kind of similar. That's why I have this here. You can provide like done for you services, pre-built systems to make it go faster. And the effort and sacrifice is the amount of work, time, whatever the effort it's actually going to take to achieve the dream outcome. Right. So that's why you can kind of have done for you services, done for you offers like templates, scripts, cheat sheets, whatever, make the process step by step and super easy to follow. So overall, you want to have a really good high dream outcome, high perceived likelihood of achievement, and you want the time delay and effort and sacrifice to be as low as possible. And here's kind of, I guess we'll be breaking down as like an offer statement. So yellow is dream outcome, time delay is green, effort and sacrifice is orange, and then perceived likelihood is blue. So start and grow a profitable faceless YouTube channel to 5K a month. So the USP right there is the faceless YouTube channel, and 5K a month is the dream outcome. Solid. The time delay is within 90 days. So it's stated, right? 90 days. It's not too long to actually be able to make 5K, especially where a lot of these guys are going from like a job to making money online. Then is the effort and sacrifice. So with a phone and 1 hour of time per day, I mean, that's pretty simple. That's it doesn't really sound like it's a lot of work, and then it's guaranteed. And they also have, social proof and whatnot. So it's a very good offer. And essentially, here's like a structure of a way that you can do it. So it's achieve XYZ outcome, XYZ being the unique selling mechanism in time with, ease or without pain point and risk reversal, right? Super simple, super easy. And then the product fulfillment. So there's different ways you can actually fulfill on your offer. I'll be breaking down. There's obviously more variations, but maybe giving you like the 5 kind of main core ones. The first one is an in-person mastermind. So these are 5 to 15 people. These can be anywhere from 5 to 10K plus. They can be a little lower, just kind of depending, but essentially it's 1 to 3 days in person networking. You guys help them solve their problems. You can do texting afterwards, and you can actually record desk course content. You don't typically want to do these unless you kind of already have an established coaching. I mean, you can, just kind of depends, but I kind of recommend starting out with one of these two, which is one-on-one coaching or group coaching. So one-on-one coaching, you can take on like 5 to 15-ish clients, 4 to 10K. It's, anywhere from 60 to 120 days. It's basically a weekly one-on-one calls, couple of group coaching. They get to text you in like a private group chat or personal number, and you have MVP recorded content. It's very similar to the group coaching, but with the group coaching, there's just no one-on-one access. So you can have 100 plus clients, right? You can almost have infinite, not really, but you get the point. Anywhere from 2 to 6K, roughly a 90-day time window. And, you can have 2 to 3 group weekly calls, community, course content, once again, MVP. Pretty simple, pretty easy to fulfill. It's very, very scalable, right? And then you can even funnel these people into the one-on-one coaching or funnel these people to the mastermind events. And then the next one is a community, very, very similar to the course. But basically, you actually offer weekly calls, can be anywhere from $20 a month to $1,000 a year, pre-recorded course content and a community. And then a course is just lifetime, $20 to $1,000. Typically, that's where it kind of taps out, just pre-recorded course content, maybe a community. That's really it. But those are the 5 main product fulfillment systems. And it just kind of depends. If you have a ton of traffic, you can kind of go this route. But if you don't have as much traffic or you just want to maximize the cash, you can go in one of these 3. Right. I mean, I'm always preaching the higher ticket because whenever you charge higher prices, you typically make more money. So then where can you actually host these? Well, I'd use School for community and courses, Discord for like one-on-one coaching or an inner circle, and then Google Meets for the calls. Pretty simple. And the whole goal of this is just to sell them what they want. You just give them what they want. They want the fishbowl, just sell them the fishbowl. They don't want the shark. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So then the next on the list is funnels. And I mean, as you can see, we essentially just want this funnel to be built to where people trust you. So instead of trying to climb out, they're happy to fall down. And whenever they fall down it, they give you money. This is exactly what we did with our NDA guy, taking him from 15K to 50K a month. And since you know the audience better than they know themselves, you just need to drag them through the levels of awareness, which is what the funnel will actually be doing. So there's levels of awareness. There's unaware people, problem aware, solution aware, product most aware, and these kind of makes them from cold, warm, and hot. So unaware is that they don't even know that they have a problem, right? They're just living life. They have no idea that they have a problem. These are the hardest people to sell to. We generally don't really do that too much. But problem aware is that they know that they have a problem, but they don't know how to solve it. So they know that they need to make more money, right? They might be in debt right now, or they might have the problem of just not having the free time, but they don't know how to solve this problem. Then solution aware is where they know that there are solutions available. So they kind of know about drop shipping. They know about your unique selling mechanism, right? And they know that there's a solution out there. And then product aware is that they actually know about your products, right? They're like, okay, I know I have this problem, right? Let's just say 9 to 5, for example. I know I'm working a 9 to 5, and I know that it's possible to make money online. And now they know about your product that can actually help them. And then most aware is that they want to buy your products, right? They want to join your program. They want to join your program, your mentorship, whatever. I know I repeated myself, but the cold is kind of around here, here, halfway through here. The warm is kind of around here, and the hot is around here. So we want to get these leads to go to, obviously we want them to be hot. They're not always going to be hot, but that kind of goes with the funnel and some of the other modules, which I'll be breaking down soon. But essentially how we actually get this to happen is through a funnel. We take them down a funnel and we warm them up and we get them to want to buy through one of our conversion mechanisms. I'll be breaking down a couple here, but the first one is a webinar. Essentially you promote, and you hype up a specific day. You can do these weekly, monthly, yearly, one time, every once in a while, etc. You grab their contact information right here, and essentially you go through a webinar framework, and at the end, you pretty much just sell them using urgency and scarcity, buying a product, or booking a call. And you want to get lots and lots of attendees, and typically these have good conversion rates just because you really build up the trust. You're live with them for about, 60 to 90 minutes. And yeah, I won't go into the weeds here. That might be for another video. But the next one is a VSL, book a call funnel. These are very, very strong. So optional, you can have an opt-in where you grab their contact information, hit them with email, SMS, and dialing. Then you have a VSL, which the whole goal of the VSL is just to break limiting beliefs and get them to want to buy your stuff. Pretty simple. And then you can send them to like an application or like a calendar, which pretty much gets people to book a sales call, qualifies them for the sales call. You do not want to hop on calls with broke leads. And then you have a pre-call nurture system, basically objection handling assets to increase show up rates and increase their warmth. Then is the DM funnel. So this is mainly if you're on Instagram. Basically, you have people DM a keyword and then they DM back, right? Hey, thanks for reaching out. Basically, use ManyChat and appointment setters to DM set the prospects using this framework. So whenever they respond, you want it to be easy to respond, frictionless, path of least resistance, right? So I like to open with a this or that. So for my car flipping offer, they DM us the word flip. We'll say like, okay, cool. Are you already flipping or are you looking to get started? Super easy to respond to. Then you want to qualify them just in irrelevant questions so you're not too salesy. Oh, okay, cool. Where are you from, by the way? Which for us, it actually does qualify them. But yeah, then you essentially just want to see, where they are now, where they want to be, like basically figure out how much that they're making or financially qualify them in some way and figure out why they're not at their end result now. Kind of the finances because my offer is a make money offer. But yeah, so you can be like, okay, cool. So where are you at now? Where you want to be? And what's stopping you from getting there? And then we offer, do you want help? Okay, cool. Yeah. So we can set up a call with the team to help you get past XYZ. And then if you want, yeah, okay, cool. Can you book it now so we can send you some free resources? Super simple way to do the DM framework. And yeah, DM funnels cook, especially if they think you're chatting with the actual creator. Next is the free community funnel. This one is very, very strong. These can be free schools, free discords, but you want to make sure you grab their name, email, and phone number. Whenever you grab your phone number, you can actually dial these leads. And essentially what happens in these funnels is you can provide tons of value. You can warm people up. You can contact them. It's very, very easy to sell to them. You can do free course content. You can do webinars, free strategy calls, etc. Then is the challenge funnel, which is not really run a lot. But anyways, once again, you get their contact information. I hope you kind of see a common theme here. You want to get the contact information of your audience. You provide tons of value to them, you warm them up, and it's easy to sell to. So essentially how it works for a car flipping example, yo, everyone join my free, join my 5-day car flipping challenge. In 5 days, we're going to, help you get your first flip, for example. And then it's either free or they sign up for a small fee. Each day they get a small task, and it's kind of similar to the free community funnel, but it's for a specific reason. So it could be a free school community, a free Discord, whatever. And at the end of the challenge, right, you pretty much just offer them something. So they do the challenge, special offer, they can, get order bumped, and then you upsell them later. And you pretty much get a buyer's list with emails, et cetera, et cetera. And then the ascension funnel. So this is kind of like a value ladder, but it makes a good amount of money. Every product provides value, and you get really, really trusted buyers, because if someone bought from you before, they'll want to buy from you again. So this could be on the front. You could run ads like a $1 to $20 no-brainer offer. And then, inside of that, you could have an upsell for like a $20, $97 a month community, whatever. And then it could have another upsell of like a high ticket for $3K. Then it could have another upsell to like a mastermind event, or it could be a one-on-one coaching and then a mastermind event or whatever. And that's how you could run the funnel, driving all the traffic to first, the lower ticket item, and then they slowly ascend up. It's not really the most efficient, but it still works. It just kind of depends on your traffic source. I'm about to get into how to actually decide which funnel is right for you. So the funnel really depends on three main things. It's the warmth of your traffic, the awareness level, sophistication, and trust, the quantity of your traffic, the number of people, and who you're selling to, the ICP. For YouTube, I like the VSL, book a call funnel, or even not even VSL, just book a call funnel in general. Very, very simple, very, very easy. With YouTube, I prefer the DM funnel or the webinar, just because they're not watching the long form content like they are on YouTube, where it doesn't really make sense to do a webinar. But instead, you could DM them just because it's in-app, or you can push everyone to a webinar to get them to actually watch long form content. With TikTok, I prefer the free community, just because you can get lots and lots of leads, so you can send them all to a free community or a webinar. And if you have lots of traffic from everywhere, I recommend like a webinar, challenge, ascension, kind of whatever. And honestly, it really does depend on your specific situation with all your different traffic sources. So if you kind of want to see which funnel you should pick, you can just book a free call with me down below, and we can pick yours on the call. But overall, the whole goal is just to get the audience to trust you. That's the whole reason why we have a funnel. We don't have a payment link, because we want the audience to trust you. So next on the list is launch. And essentially, you want to map out what you're actually planning on doing, or else you're going to hit, the woods and get sucked by wolves. You're going to have to, climb an unexpected mountain. You're going to have to cross a river. That's what we did with Ryan, where we launched him, made $44,000 in 2 weeks. Essentially, your whole goal of the launch is just to get hype, and it's going to get you a big influx of sales and really allow you to, validate your systems. So here's essentially how a waitlist funnel can work for a launch. Essentially, pre-launch day one, you want to change all of your YouTube descriptions, your free communities, your story sequences, basically all pushing to a list that grabs name, email, phone number. And in these free communities and YouTube descriptions where people are a little warm, you want to do like a power offer, which is essentially where you just make everyone aware that a launch is happening and that you're releasing something new. So for the past few months, blah, 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 I'm working on this thing that's going to help you do this. And basically, it'll get you this specific outcome. Even if common pain point, it's going to be this, 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 this. And it's super hands-on, so we're gonna have some scarcity here. The guarantee is specific, and or else you get this, right? It'll happen, or we'll work with you for free. The whole goal of the pre-launch phase is to get people aware that a launch is happening and get them excited for it. So opting in, whatever. Then day 2 through 5, you just want to do all the traffic, where the daily reels, emails, content, whatever story sequences subtly this time. You just want to hype up the launch day. You just want to hype up the launch day and start grabbing contact information. Then on the actual launch day itself, you can just do a bunch of different power offers, have a YouTube VSL that drops, a power offer, and then Dialer is going to dial up all the leads that actually opted in. And you can throw another story sequences and just drive all the traffic into this funnel, right? Literally just throw people down this, make them fall down. And then on the launch day 2 through 4, what you want to do with Instagram Reels is look at the competitors' best Reels, model after them, make it your own, add the CTA, launch emails with urgency and scarcity, continually to dial, announcements, YouTube VSL, Instagram subtle stories, etc., just pushing massive, massive push down the funnel. And then here's what the actual emails will look like. So day 1 of the pre-launch, you hype it up and you reply farm. So you get people to reply. That way you open up in their primary and, you get them to be active. Launch day 2 is a personal email that has some sort of objection handling, in it, where it either relates to the audience or something like that. Pre-launch day 3 is essentially just a case study email of some student succeeding. Day launch number 4 is answering any, frequently asked questions. Launch day 4, pre-launch day 4 is just an FAQ, answering any common questions or addressing any common objections. Then day 5 is when you actually launch it. Inside the school or Discord, if it's a paid one, the conversion rates are going to be crazy. But if it's just a normal, free one, it'll still do fine. So you just want to do a power offer like this, right? You answer any questions, hype it up. You can even have a free call, which would be like a mini webinar. And then day 4 and 5, you just push everyone to the funnel. Lots of urgency, lots of scarcity. And how the pricing will work is if it's $1 to 1,000, you can simply just use a payment link. If it's really like 2,000 plus, you just want to do like a call funnel, because that would just be kind of a lot for the audience to pay just off of a link. Not saying it won't work, but it will not maximize the conversion rates. And the whole goal of this is just to validate your system to scale, which we're about to break down next. So next up is sales. And this is really where you can get to that money bag. You want to have a Navy SEAL sales process. As you can see, Mark literally closed a $3K deal after before was only, closing $79 deals. Using the sales process, he closed the $3K deal, which is pretty cool. But essentially, you want to have no lead left behind. You want to know your KPIs. You want to review your sales calls. You want to review your numbers. You want to know your bottlenecks. It's really all math. So if you can't do math, you will not predictably scale. So here's the pre-call process of a booked call. So they book a call, there's going to be some automations and some manuals. So automatically they get redirected to a post-call booking. They get an email and SMS confirmation confirming that they're going to show up, pushing them to these pre-call assets. The whole goal of the pre-call assets are to get them to show up excited and have them be warm. So these can be pre-call videos that frame the call, FAQs, student interviews and wins, video breakdowns of the process, VSLs, whatever. And the pre-call video is just going to thank them for booking, telling them to show up. And like, if you don't, you'll get blacklisted. Frame the call, pushing them to other assets, right? And then 24 hours before, it's email, SMS reminder, sending them some sort of asset. Same thing, 8 hours before, 1 hour before, and then 5 minutes, the link to join. And then the manual. So this is one method you can do. You basically either call them or you want to put them in a group chat with like a closer who's ever taken a call. You essentially want to qualify the prospect, get them warm by building that one-on-one connection and push them to the assets. So this is what we're going to use. Morning of the call, our closer is going to send a voice note or video, once again, just to make them really want to show up. 1 to 2 hours before, the closer has a game plan for them, get them excited to show up. 5 minutes before, it will just get them the link to join. Pretty simple process if they book a call. And then if people are on the wait list and they don't book a call, right, they actually opted into that launch wait list and they didn't, automatically they're going to get objection handling emails with CTAs, 1 email every day for 7 days, right? And on the 7th day, those get added to the newsletter. In the meantime, manually, we're going to have an SDR, a setter dialer, basically dialing them and texting them every single day for the 7 days until they respond and book a call, or until they respond and say no, or until they book a call. And if they don't respond, then they just kind of get like thrown away, or they get relocated for later. But like I said, it's very simple. It's just math. In order to have a Navy SEAL sales process, you need to know your numbers so you can spot bottlenecks like low closing rate. That means you need to have better pre-call assets and you need to review the sales calls. Low show rate is your pre-call process. Low traffic is the pre-booking process, the framing and the funnel. And essentially, you want to track all your numbers like right here, right? We know our closing rate, we know our no-show rate, and we know like how everything works so that way we can actually optimize it. So you're probably wondering, okay, cool, well, what should I track? Well, ideally, you want to track all of this. So the number of people on the list, right? The number of people that go to the page, the VSL view ratio, and the VSL view ratio, how long they're on the VSL, are they staying till the pitch, how many calls booked, how many calls actually showed, what's your closing percentage, what's your AOV, your average order value, how many dials were made, what's the booking percent to dials. And industry standards for this are around, they're honestly probably around 50, but 70% show rate, 35% close rate. My personal KPIs for organic is an 80% show rate, 50. Obviously, we want better than that, but that's the bare minimum. And the whole goal of this is just to know and optimize your offers. And the whole goal of this is just to know and optimize your numbers, know exactly what you're doing. And yeah, so next is fulfillment. So now you're getting all these money, right? You're getting all these people into the program. Now you need to make them happy and make them get results, because if they get results, you're going to make a ton more money, right? Just from referrals, from case studies, etc. But if you're not going to get results, people are going to be sad. You're going to be like the guy who peaked in high school, make no money, be crying. But with the systems, I'm just going to show you that won't happen, especially with Crypto Lightskin. He hasn't even launched yet, but he has a student. He already getting student wins. So essentially, I'm going to give you some general actionables just because every single offer is different. But right when they have the payment received, you want to give them an onboarding email or video or both, gives them access to everything, welcomes them inside, make sure that they aren't confused on how to actually use everything. And then the general actionables. So the first 24 to 48 hours are the most important. You want them to give them access to the materials, have them feel welcome in. And if there's an onboarding call with this offer, have them book that. Next on the list is you want a roadmap. So essentially you want to give them a roadmap to follow so that way they're not lost at all. And I made a roadmap for Drew's offer, right? No. Next, you want to give them a roadmap to follow. So essentially a roadmap so they're not lost at all and they know exactly what they need to do. So they need to, do this, do that, do the third thing, etc. And then you want to have some MVP course content. If this is a new offer, really just sets expectations, gives them something early on to consume, a quick win, and your results are everything. So you want to be tracking all of this, right? You want to be tracking the payment plans, what month are they in the program, the number of like calls that they've taken, like onboarding calls, one-on-one calls, their struggles, their current step on the roadmap. And you want to track all of this, first of all, to get money right here, but also knowing where they're at because, if you have student success and they made money with you, they are going to want to continue with you, which is where you can upsell them to mastermind offers, one-on-one coaching, make more money. Because if the student fails, there's going to be no upsell, which means they want a refund, frowny face. And the whole goal of this is just to get real results. And you just want to kind of make this roadmap on a way of what it would take to go from starting point to finishing point. But it's pretty simple. If they're willing to put in the work, they can get results as long as you fulfill on your end. So the final stage is scaling. So we already did the market research. We already know who we're selling to. We already got the traffic. We already made your offer. We already know the funnel to do. We already made the pre-launch. We did the sales. We have some student results. Now we want to scale this mountain and collect more money bags, right? This is what we're doing with Drew right now and Devin, right? Devin hit 12K in 2 days, working on scaling right now. There's two main ways to actually scale. There's two lanes. So there's basically paid traffic, organic. I kind of said lifestyle or real business. Just because you do ads doesn't mean it's a real business. And just because you do organic doesn't mean it's a lifestyle business, right? But you need to make sure, first of all, you have a Navy SEAL sales process before you do ads. Just because if you're paying for views, you're paying for people to go down your funnel and you lose them, you're just burning money. But let's go ahead and break down the ads one first. So essentially this is paid traffic. You basically pay for views. These are going to be colder, but it's more sustainable. The reason why you need to have a Navy SEAL sales process is because all of your numbers are going to drop. Your show rate's going to drop. Your close rate is going to drop just because these people are colder. They're going to drop on average by 10%. But it's very, very simple. Ads is so simple. Do not overcomplicate it. All you need to do is just follow this simple framework. So essentially it's hook, story, offer with marketing angles. So you hook them in, get them to want to watch, you tell them the story about your offer, making it believable, and then you have your CTA with a specific type of angle. And essentially all you want to do is just test the angles. So maybe, like this hook was good, but everything else didn't really convert. So let's try it with this story and this offer. Okay, so now all of a sudden, this story is doing good, but people are not really doing the offer. So let's try out this offer. And it's really just mixing and matching different things until something actually works. And then just continually, working on it, optimizing it, making the ads better, because the more efficient your ad is, the more money you're going to make. The secret's literally just to constantly test new ideas. And it's super simple. Then is organic, which is just straight up the continual traffic following the 3-2 content system, top of funnel to get a lot of views in, middle and bottom of funnel to really warm them up. And you just got to be yourself. Authenticity really cooks here. The more you're yourself, the more people are really going to mess with you. And if you truly want to scale, you're eventually going to have to dabble with ads just because like organic is high profit margins, but unpredictable. You can know how much money you're making from these videos, but you can't guarantee a video is going to get X amount of views. You can't do that. But with ads, it's lower profits, but it's quantifiable. If I put in this amount of money, we'll get this many impressions, we'll get this many opt-ins, and our opt-in rate to booking to money rate, blah, blah, blah. It's basically, you can really math it down and get nerdy into it and know all the math. And there's no best option. It's really up to you. And the whole goal of this is just to scale and make more money. And that's pretty much the entire system. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and not really sure what to do, it's totally fine. And really what you should do is if you actually want a systematic approach to scale your info business to 5, 6, or even 7 figures, and you're a coach or creator, you can book that free one-on-one call down below with me, and we can really break this down step by step for your specific offer. So that way, it's not like overwhelming how you might be feeling right now. But anyways, I hope this helped. And until next time, peace.